Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charleston, and welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and where we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we got a pretty interesting show for you guys that we definitely want you guys to stick around for. But before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. So let me get into this topic here. Okay, y'all know the blow up between JJ Redick and Kendrick Perkins. All of that was centered on one Nikola Jokic, right? He was the center of all of that, right? Is Nikola Jokic stat padding? Is he receiving preferential treatment? Because Kendrick Perkins said, which we found out that it wasn't true, that 80% of the voters were non-black, so there may be a racial bias within the voting. It's created all type of conversations. Now, one of the shows, the early morning shows on ESPN, is called Keyshawn, Max and Jay, right? An early morning show where they talk about a range of things. And during this particular episode, they were talking about the Kevin Durant injury, you know, the playoff picture and all of that. But then it got to a particular point in this particular show here where Jay Williams basically started calling out his own network and the media in general for always looking for ways to try to discredit the validity of the numbers that Nikola Jokic is putting up, and basically trying to find ways of poking holes into his MVP arguments, which really surprised me, because Kendrick Perkins, who works at ESPN, who's one of his colleagues, was one of the exact people doing that very thing. But before we get into his comments, this video is brought to you by sponsor Aura, who's also the official sponsor of the T-Wolves. Do you know what the fastest growing crime in America is today? It's identity theft. Imagine trying to log into your email only to see that your password has been changed. Then you start getting weird notifications from your bank and credit cards, only to find out that all of your personal and sensitive information has been totally compromised. If you think it can happen to you and your family, just know that in 2020, over 49 million Americans were victims to identity theft, costing them a combined $56 billion. That is why we are excited to partner with Aura, who's the sponsor of this video. Aura is the #1 identity theft and financial fraud protection. Aura monitors the dark web and alerts you if any of your passwords and accounts have been breached. And funny enough, after using Aura, I discovered some of my credentials were floating around in the dark web, and the app showed me exactly when and where the breach happened. In addition, Aura allows you to set spending alerts, and they'll notify you of any suspicious transactions. Aura is 4 times faster than any of its competitors in alerting you if someone is trying to open a credit card or obtain a loan using your name. And remember this, every 14 seconds, someone becomes a victim of identity fraud. Don't let it happen to you. Now click the link in the description and try Aura for free for 2 weeks and see if any of you or your family's personal information has been compromised. Start your free trial at aura.com/dreamerspro. And when you try Aura, by using the link in the description below, also know that you're supporting this channel. Thank you. So what we want to do is we want to play exactly what Jay Williams had to say here, and then we're going to come back and react to his comments. So take a listen to what he had to say there.
That's so far.
I'm going to say this, and I really need everybody who's listening to our show, KJM, to hear me on this key. The media does not want the Denver Nuggets to win. Like, that's the reality of it, okay? They don't find anything sexy about Jokic. You're going to hear everybody discouraging, whether you believe it or not, that he's going to win his 3rd MVP.
He is.
Like, well, what happened to him in the bubble and this team and Jamal Murray? You know, this team is loaded. They're the best team in the Western Conference. They're probably the best team in the NBA. Aaron Gordon has had the best year of his career. Jamal Murray is playing well. You got Nikola Jokic is going to win his 3rd MVP. Michael Porter is averaging like 18, 19. He's finally healthy. They got a great additional pieces. You get Thomas Bryant that gives you depth. Bruce Brown from the Brooklyn Nets, he gives you a piece. They have all the pieces and they have the depth. Reggie Jackson is on the Denver Nuggets, by the way.
Nice pickup.
Like, nobody even talks about that. On the Denver Nuggets, they are top to bottom the best team, but it's not the same sexiness. So you're not going to hear the media talk about it. We'll talk about the Lakers and what's going on with LeBron James and AD. Like, we'll talk about what's going on with Golden State and can they get it back, and Steph Curry. You know, do they lose it? We'll talk about what's going on with Ja Morant, but everybody else is falling down. But the Denver Nuggets.
So you heard what he had to say, right? That people are always trying to look for ways to discredit him. Personally, I'm not one of those people that are, you know, scrutinizing Nikola Jokic's game and his record, the record of his team, and trying to find ways to say, well, he doesn't deserve it. blah, 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 blah. I'm not one of those guys. Last season, one of the things that he had working in his favor was that I think Jamal Murray wasn't even there, right? He wasn't even there. And for him to put up those type of numbers and help lead his team to the playoffs, a lot of people were very, very, very impressed with that, right? They were like, how can you not give this guy the MVP? And then you couple that with the numbers that he was putting forward. This season, I mean, if we look at some of the point, and I don't want to get into the advanced analytics because there are a lot of people that are basing their argument off that. I want to look at the traditional numbers here. If you look at his numbers, in about roughly 34 minutes a game, he's putting up 24.5 points per game. He's shooting 63% from the field, folks. That's a remarkable percentage. He's shooting 41% from the three. That's pretty incredible. And 81.6% from the free throw line. So he's putting up some fantastic numbers there. He's getting you 11.8 rebounds a game, which is fantastic for a big man. He's getting you 10 assists per game. He is getting you 3.6 turnovers as a big, but he's also a passing big. So for him to still average 10 assists is pretty remarkable. He is getting you 1.2 steals per game and 0.6 blocks. And one of the numbers that one might want to pay attention to is his plus minus. Last year when he won the regular season MVP, his plus minus was 6. This year, his plus minus is 9.7. So whenever he's on the floor, good things happen. And I believe one of the stats that came out there that was circulating out there was whenever he averages a triple double, they usually win all the games, which is again incredible, right? Which is again incredible. So, it's really hard to kind of make a case against him using the numbers. It is very, 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 very hard. Maybe we may need to look at something else. Some people are also asking the question, why isn't there voter fatigue, right? Why isn't there voter fatigue? In the past, some people say that some of the reasons that LeBron didn't win MVPs or so many MVPs is because of voter fatigue. Some people say one of the reasons Michael Jordan didn't win so many MVPs was because of voter fatigue. Some people voters fatigue. Some people say the reason why Giannis didn't win 3 MVPs in a row was because of voter fatigue, right? But why in this case of Nikola Jokic, he's in a position where he may end up winning 3 consecutive MVP awards, 3 of them. And some people will say, but why does he deserve that when he's never ever even been to an NBA Finals like other guys? Why is he getting this big pass? That's for people out there making that argument. And I think those were the people that Jay Williams was pushing back on. So the question really to you guys is, do you think, as it stands right now, Nikola Jokic deserves to win the regular season MVP? Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts in the comment section, and we catch you guys on the next episode. Peace.